Hello everyone. In this video, we will discuss about types of variable. So before we begin types of variable, we need to understand data characteristics. So data characteristics, data basically divided in two parts, constant and variable. So constant means value does not change and variable means value can change. So variable basically two types, qualitative and qualitative divided in two parts, nominal and ordinal, and quantitative divided discrete and continuous. So what is variable? Any characteristics which subject to change and can have more than one value such as age, intelligence, motivation, gender. The value of variable changes. A variable is a characteristics that can take different values with respect to a person, time, or place, or any other factor. For example, like blood pressure, height, weight, blood group, cholesterol level, pulse rate, and severity of illness and the grade of students in an examinations are variables. Now, what are the types of variable? So as I said, there are two types of variable, qualitative variable and quantitative variable. Qualitative variable, qualitative variable divide in two parts, ordinal variable and nominal variable. And quantitative variable is a two parts, discrete variable and continuous variable. And again, continuous variable divided into part, interval and ratio. So these are the basics uh, sequence of types of variable. Now we'll understand one by one. So qualitative variable, it is also known as categorical variable. If the characteristics is classified according to a group, class or category, it is called a qualitative variable. For example, qualitative variable are blood group A, B, AB and O, status of disease, severe, moderate and mild, socioeconomic class, rich, middle class and poor, grades in examination, excellent, good, average and poor, sex, male and female, and diet, vegetarian and non-vegetarian. In this type of variable, the number of persons falling in each group of the variable is counted. Now, as we know, qualitative variable is two types. So, first one is the ordinal variable. If there is an order in the classification of the group of the variable, it is called an ordinal variable. For example, status of disease, grade in examination, and socioeconomic class are ordinal variables. Nominal variable, if there is no order is possible in the classification, it is called nominal. For example, sex, male, female, diet, and blood group are nominal variables. If there are only two categories such as sex, the variable is called binary or dichotomous. If there are more than two categories, it is called polychotomous variable. Now, quantitative variable also is known as measurable variable. If the characteristics is measurable in units of a measurement carrying a numerical value, it is called quantitative variable. For example, family is classified according to size, one member, two members, three members, or number of children, no child, one child, two child, three child, are examples of discrete variables. As we know, quantitative variables is divided in two types, discrete and continuous. So these are the examples of discrete variable. And quantitative variables, for example, weight in kg, height in centimeter, income in rupees, dollars or pounds, blood pressure, time, minutes and second, and temperature. This type of variables can have decimal points values and known as continuous variables. So now continuous variable is divided in two parts, interval variable and ratio. So interval variables have a numerical value. These have order and equal intervals. They allow not only to rank order the items that are measured, but also to quantify and compare the magnitude of difference between them. And ratio variable is similar to an interval variable with one difference, the ratio makes sense. Some other types of variable like dependent variable and variable affixed by the independent variable, it responds to the independent variable. And independent variable that is presumed to influence other variable, it is the presumed cause, where the dependent variable is the presumed effects. For example, like you are interested in how stress affects mental state of human beings. So independent variable is stress, dependent variable is mental status of human beings. You can directly manipulate stress levels in your human subjects and measure how those stress levels change mental state. Now we have one second example. Promotion affects employee motivation. So independent variable is a promotion and dependent variable is employee motivation. Some other names for dependent and independent variables, like for example, dependent variable is also known as explained variable, predicted variable, regress variable, response variable, outcome variable, and control variable. So these are the other nomenclature of the dependent variable. And independent variable is also known as explanatory variable, predictor variable, and regressor variable, stimulus variable, covariates, and control variable. And some intervening and mediating variable, it is also a variable whose existence is inferred, but it cannot be measured. So some other variables like exogenous and endogenous variable. So, being students, if we are going to begin any kind of the research, we need to understand about data characteristics. Data characteristics, it may be constant or variable. So, we need to understand variables, like variables is a qualitative variable or quantitative variable. And then we need to understand about qualitative variable is ordinal or nominal. Quantitative variable is discrete, continuous is interval or ratio. Then we need to understand about dependent variable, independent variable, and some others nomenclature of the dependent variable and independent variables, exogenous variable, endogenous variables. So these basics in information required when we are going to begin the study. So this is basic information about types of variables. Thank you everyone.